the legend himself, the card playing genius. He's going to be playing some New Game Plus easy. And if we get enough money in the next couple hours or 90 minutes or so, see A Bug's Life by yours truly on Sony PlayStation. So if you want to see some bug action, feel free to donate. You have been watching Tactical Fundraising Action 3, Irish Thunder. We're coming up on the end of our regularly scheduled programming, but there is still a bonus game potentially to be run at the end of this night, so get your donations in to see some bug action on PlayStation. But coming up next, Acid 2 with Coppertank. We want to thank once again to everyone who has donated and watched today. It's been a fun time. If you want to see some more tactical fundraising action, tune in tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, or check your local Horaro listings for your own time zone for the start of day 2, which will start with a Metal Gear Solid 3 very easy race. 4-way race at that. Exciting stuff. Back, everyone. We have some tactical card action for you all with Metal Gear Acid 2 with the legend from Idaho himself, Coppertank. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I've been having a fun time watching these runs. It's been pretty exciting. And this one's pretty special for you, right?
Absolutely.
You got New Game Plus, Easy Acid 2, a route that you have been working on for a few months now, right? 3 months or so?
I think it might even be more than that at this point.
Yeah.
Um, for whatever reason, my controller just decided to stop working. Oh, here we go. I just had to unplug it. Well, hold on. Yeah, it was working fine prior to prior to when I actually show up on stream, but
Perfect.
it wouldn't be a marathon without technical difficulties.
Save the technical difficulties from until I transition to the live portion. That's good. That's some good stuff. I was like, Copper, you all good? He's like, yeah, man.
I was. I totally was. Okay.
You were until it wasn't.
Now the controller wants to work. I don't know. I think we're okay now, hopefully. It's like a preemptive acid trip before the run even starts.
The controller acid trip. So, all right. So, what can we expect from this run, Copper?
A lot of diarrhea and a lot of now that's fast.
Like fast diarrhea, or is those are two separate things?
Two completely separate things, but two very good things.
Gotcha. Okay, that is a strong opener, and I am definitely intrigued. So I am ready when you are, sir.
Cool. We're gonna run on easy, and I'll explain here in a few why we're gonna do that. You ready to go?
Yep.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Believe in the heart of the cards.
I'm gonna send every enemy to the Shadow Realm.
It looks like Acid 2.
So my name is Coppertank. This is Metal Gear Acid 2. The game starts out with a mandatory set of tutorial stages. Unfortunately, you cannot skip them under, any method that I'm aware of right now. But the good news is that they're not very long.
Yeah, the opening to this game is a lot faster pace compared to Acid 1, which just launches into an unskippable, like, 4-minute cutscene.
This whole game is just faster compared to Acid 1. By comparison, I mean this game is just refined, and basically every problem that there was in the first game was resolved in this game. As far as movement goes, combat goes, moving through, as simple as moving through a door has been improved in this game.
How many times can you say that in a video game sequel? Like, man, the door mechanics in this game, phenomenal.
Okay, I almost did the next stage strat here. I do that from time to time. Okay. And there have been some optimizations made in these tutorial stages recently. Nothing, major. It's not something that saves more than 5 seconds even, but between the movement on this stage, you'll see that I knock instead of crawling under the vent, which saves us about 3 seconds if we do it this way. And then in the next stage, we're going to end up using the 1911 in the first block, and that has the potential to save us a bunch of time as long as we don't miss. Which does happen, a lot more than you would expect.
Yeah, it's been a pretty interesting evolution with this tutorial section since I've kind of observed and watched along the way. And Copper's seen probably like what? Probably like 30 seconds of optimization. Yeah, something around those lines.
Something
Uh,
like that, yeah.
which is
And of course, we got legitimately the worst RNG you can get.
oh
The
boy.
worst. Hey, but
Pew, pew, pew.
that has me more confident that I'm not gonna draw the same deck. We're just gonna do a backup strat and use the grenade. You don't miss with grenades.
I like that the guy was like, huh?
I know, he
Covered
turns
with
around,
6
doesn't really
shots?
investigate. He's just like, I'm getting shot at? Alright, I'm just gonna turn around again. So we lost a lot of time there, but
That
it's
is
nothing that can
very
end the run.
That's very uncommon though for
To
all.
miss with both cards is pretty bad, but it does happen. Usually, you know, in a non-marathon environment, I would just reset.
But thankfully that's not like a mistake that's costing you anything dire. It's just some time. So
Right.
most things in this game, from my observations from watching it and helping Copper with the routing, is that mistakes are typically not as costly as they were in Acid 1. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Basically, if you can't keep your cost down to 0, it's not nearly as big of a deal because enemies take their turns a lot faster than they used to in the first game.
We should probably explain a little bit of how the mechanics work in this game, because it's non-standard Metal Gear action for sure.
Absolutely.
So you get a hand at the start of every area, and when you play those cards, there's cards that let you move, there's cards that let you attack, there's special cards that have special effects, like, oh, this card heals me every turn or something like that, or this modifies a weapon. And Copper's deck, your standard deck revolves around moving fast, moving quick. Isn't that right?
Yes. So this is a turn-based game. If you haven't, I mean, it's a card turn-based game. If you really haven't noticed by now, what's different about this game is that it works off of a system called cost, in that every card you use, or almost every card you're using, incurs cost. The more cost you have, the higher up your, or I'm sorry, the how do I explain this? Basically, it makes your turn order unfavorable. It puts you like at the back. The higher up your cost, like your cost is higher than other guards on the stage, it makes your turn after theirs. So what I like to do with this current setup is use a bunch of cost reduction cards that allow me to reduce my cost back to 0, effectively like putting my turn, like prioritizing my turn over anyone else. No matter what cards I end up using. Like I use some pretty cost heavy cards, like some movement cards that just, you know, take, like, increase the cost by quite a bit. And what I'll do is just use higher cost reduction cards to reduce it back to 0, so it doesn't matter. And that's basically like the entire strat of just getting through the stage as fast as you can.
And the key thing really is monitoring your the amount of turns you have in your for your character, right?
Yes. So the terminology is kind of confusing, but Snake has by default 2 rests, which is effectively 2 actions per turn.
They use both turn and rest, which is just bizarre because rest as a term for turns is like doesn't make sense. Like what you would be acting, not resting, right? But
Right. I think they were on acid when they made this game. Not that I'm complaining, because I love it.
all right, everyone, show's over. Good night. He said it. He said it.
I said it. So this stage is kind of mildly infuriating because you have 3 terminals that you have to visit, and basically the first 2 in the story, they say, hey, this is the wrong terminal, you have to move on to the next one. Well, the problem is, you would ideally think, hey, I already know that the first 2 terminals are wrong, I could just skip to the 3rd one. That's not how this game works. Like, the game doesn't let you progress until you've visited each and every terminal, even though you know the last one is the correct one. The game scripts it into whatever the last terminal you end up visiting is, like the last one. So you could, you could visit the one towards the end of the stage, but it wouldn't matter because that's not the correct one.
I want to mention to everyone that the Bugs Life bonus game incentive is cut off when time is called by Copper to enter this run, which is in about an hour and 15 minutes or so. So you want to see the bug action. Well, you're 9 minutes in right now.
No, I mean, how far are we to reaching the goal?
Oh, that kind of far.
Yeah.
Not the acid kind of far.
The far question mark kind of far.
We're $80 away. $80.
Come on, guys, you can do it.
From the Bug Life, featuring Plywood, not Paris Hilton.
This is not a good stage.
So maybe you should tell us about card luck. What's the deal with card luck, huh?
Apparently for me it's terrible. I don't know, maybe if we get some other runners in, they'll have better luck than me, but basically it's all about like maintaining the balance. In the game, I mean, really it mostly depends on how the cards are drawn. Like, it's just like what you would expect in a card game. It's a matter of like having a balance of like your movement cards. You want enough movement cards, but you also want your cost reduction cards. If you end up having like too much of one thing over the other, it's not going to work. It's not going to work out all that well, like as you're seeing right now. And okay, there's the end of the stage. The first 2 stages have been pretty poor lately. I was talking to Plywood about this recently, actually, about how with this clear save I'm loading for New Game Plus, a lot of the time I end up with the same cards. Same cards, same order, which leads me to believe that, the game could be manipulated into having a deck that's favorable for certain stages. I'm not sure like how viable that is for the entire game, but it is possible. Let's see if I can get past this guard. I can get past this guard. He's gonna turn around, and then once I get up the set of stairs, I might not have to reduce my cost because I'm far away enough from the guard that it doesn't matter. In this game, it's kind of weird how it allows guards to have a turn or not. In this instance, he is able to have a turn, but in some instances, if you're far away enough from a guard, or if you're in a room that separates you from other guards, the game just like lets you continuously have a turn. Like, you just reduce your cost to 0, the other guards don't get a turn, and you just move on. It's like, it's just strange. The game doesn't really explain it as a mechanic. It's just something that happens.
Just like, hey, we made this game this way, but we ain't telling you anything about it. Granted, this game does a lot better of a job explaining things compared to Acid 1, because it actually has like tutorials and
mandatory tutorials and not like, hey, here's this one piece of text that we're gonna flash at you one time between like 8 cutscenes that are unskippable, but at least you can hold down a button to get to the text. Oh, we don't want to go that way because there's a guard blocking us. I'm gonna go for a good movement. Hopefully I get my movement cards here. This might be enough. I think this will be enough. There we go. That is stage. Okay, so we are about to enter the first combat-oriented stage. We have to take out 4 guards in easy difficulty. I think it's 5 on normal. So I'm going to remove my movement cards. I'm also going to remove my write-in cards. There we go. We're going to be using some Cyborg Ninja cards, some Metal Gear Gander cards, mass-produced Ray cards.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. What are all these cards, man? Metal Gear Gander? Didn't we just play that game? The heck? Ghost Babel? I'm on board.
As far as fan service goes, this is the best game to play, in my opinion. You've got a little bit of Metal Gear. Now, bear in mind, this game came out in 2006, so you've got a little bit of Metal Gear from all the games prior to, as well as... Okay, so, really quick, I used a card, I used mass-produced Ray. It's RNG-based in that it randomly picks targets. It did not work in my favor. Let's see if we can take out the other 2. But it fires 5 missiles randomly. Oh, okay, we're alright. The first one didn't play out all that well. But I think we've defeated all the enemies. We got hit a few times. Not too bad. Usually I like to take care of all 4 enemies on the first hand, if I can help it, because you end up skipping some cutscenes that would happen in the middle of the stage otherwise. Anyway, so as you play this game, not on New Game Plus, you'll end up unlocking cards, like card packs that you can buy with points you earn depending on how well you do on each stage. And you use those points to buy these packs that have like cards specific to the game. Like they've got MGS3 cards, they've got MGS2 cards, MGS1 cards, then they got Chronicle Pack, which is like all the 2D games. As well as like
Police Knots and...
Right, Police Knots and Snatcher and Zone of the Enders.
And No Smoking.
Oh, yeah, the most useless card. 435. Bear with me here. I'm reading notes to make sure that I get all the cards I need here.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Gotta keep yourself on task.
A little slow, but
this is really the tricky part of the run that you have control over, is the menuing with the cards. You got to make sure you're bringing the right deck for the right situation.
Absolutely. There's been many a time. In fact, like I think in my most recent PB, I had baggage cards, which are cards that I just left in my deck that I could not figure out, like, you know, I couldn't figure out which ones to remove. And I just kept them in there because, you know, it's not worth my time. This kind of sucks because I didn't have any cost reduction cards. So the patrol bots here are getting a little turn. But as I was saying before, compared to the first game, it really doesn't make as big of a difference. Now, as you can see here, we had an alert in that area of the stage. In this area, that alert is gone, and that's specific to running on easy difficulty. the biggest reason why I run on easy difficulty right here, because if you run on normal or hard, or I'm sorry, extreme, there's a good chance that there's a patrol bot that will block you from climbing a ladder, and it wastes a lot of time. And other than that, there's nothing really all that significant to the run, other than there's a lot more enemies. They take a lot more damage due to either HP values or equipment. And then, unlike easy, not only does it carry over alerts, but it resets them back to 99% when you start in a new area.
That's rough.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky.
Yeah, you started routing and playing on normal, but you transitioned over to easy, and you just find this a lot more fun and smoother of an experience.
Right.
When
Normal
you
really doesn't add all that much.
Yeah. Extreme definitely adds a lot of guards with tons of crazy gear.
Oh yeah. They have like equipment level 3, they have like 3 body armors and a bunch of weapons, and it's absurd. And then, you know, boss fights are obviously trickier too. They have different equipment values, higher HPs, which really doesn't matter all that much because you use a weapon, that pretty much gets around all of that, which you guys are going to see here before too long. We're going to be getting to the first boss of the game. My cost is a lot higher than I want it to be, but that's not a big deal because we were close enough for only one patrol bot. That's what I mean about like proximities in this game. Like we had 23 cost, which is a very high amount, because I just had no cost reduction cards around. But it didn't really matter because the only enemy that was within proximity of getting its turn played out its turn a few times, and that was it. I didn't have to worry about anything after that. It just like reduced my cost back to 0 again. So now we're just going to enter the same stage. This time we have to go back down the same way we came in, and then up a couple ramps. This is the only stage that I can really think of that you have to backtrack in, unlike Acid 2 or Acid 1.
Acid 1 loves its backtracking.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
You say that with ness.
Well, I mean, you can tell that it's a launch title.
Yeah. Right.
You look at the file sizes even.
Right. If everyone's wondering why I'm saying right, the scripting in Acid 1 the scripting in Acid 1 is pretty bad and lazy. So you hear the word right, so like that, just that line, right, so many times in Acid 1. It's like several dozen. Like
anytime Snake acknowledges anything that anyone says on the codec, it's just right. Snake, you need to do this. Right.
I'm thinking of Office Space. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Snake, I'm gonna need you
draw
to
that card.
This base. Right.
Right. You're gonna have to stay over the weekend drawing cards. Sorry. Oh, you didn't draw a cost reduction card. Gonna have to write you up on that one.
Snake, are you left-handed or right?
Right.
Shit.
So one card I don't think I heard you explain, maybe I was wrong, is the Jack card. That Jack card is a bit special, isn't it?
Yes, the Jack card was not introduced in the first game. It's more or less a promo code among some of the others in this game. What I read actually recently, which I was unaware of, is that these are fan submitted cards, just ideas. I think it was like some sort of magazine contest or whatever, you like fill out what the card does. Or I don't even know if it went that far, but it was like you would come up with ideas for cards and you would submit it, and it might get into the game. And then
shout out to whoever made up Jack.
Yes, whoever did this made the game so much easier because, long story short, it just adds +1. You see the yellow blocks the Snake's moving on? They're referred to as blocks. And basically it allows Snake to have an extra block in every movement he makes for 3 turns in a row. Which adds up more than you would think. Like, the stages are a lot quicker, or a lot smaller than they are in the last game.
They come more frequently, though. It's like shorter, but more, it's like a bunch of snacks versus like one big meal.
Right.
Right.
Right. Now that's fast.
Now that's fast, right there. And that also applies to when you use standard cards as well, correct?
Yeah, any card that you use for movement gets a +1 for that turn, for the 3 turns that you have the card flipped. Right now we're actually going to do our first boss fight, which involves removing pretty much all of our cards to make way for what I like to call the infinite deck. And it's not something I invented. In fact, it's an old method that some guy on YouTube I watched forever ago made. It's like a video with like 2 FPS, but the idea is there. Like you equip a certain amount of cards, a certain type of cards, and it allows you to exploit the game into always giving you turn priority no matter what, without prioritizing like you know, your movement or whatever, because you don't have to worry about that. It's just about killing whatever boss is in front of you. Excuse me for a second.
Yeah, just focus on your deck. That's fine. I'll have a moment to explain. So this is the second major deck revision. There's 2 main decks that Copper uses in this run, and this is the second one. You'll see this occasionally depending on when we're fighting, but the goal of this deck is to build a ton of cost because well, I don't know if he's actually going to be using it for this boss. I don't think so. I think he's going to be using the Arsenal gear card, but there is a card called the Super Dragon, and it is extremely overpowered when you build up a ton of cost.
Wrong stage.
Oh boy.
I've done this before.
Oh, you did this? No.
I did this before.
Oh man.
I end up doing this one stage early, and it's happened several times. This is like the most forgettable stage, to be fair. So I have to undo everything I did because we've altered the deck too early.
You know what you should do is pay attention to the minimap.
That would be a good idea. You know what would be a really good idea? If I just didn't do that.
Just didn't forget, but you know, maybe if it's not, if you can't remember it, there has to be some way for you
no.
For the
Okay, let's scroll back down. Hold on, I gotta look at my notes and like really get this fixed.
Yeah,
this is a big problem.
You got time. You got time.
Let's see. Get our cost reduction back. Running man's back. Admittedly, my menuing is where I can most improve.
Right.
I mean, even without a major problem like this, my menuing is pretty sluggish. Unlike MGA 1, and I keep saying that, but there is legitimately like an insane amount of differences between this game and the last one. You can sell cards in this game, and that's got like I mean, it's got positives and negatives. in the first game, I routed it out where like even my menuing was exactly the same because you can't get rid of your cards. The save I have has every card in the game.
So
So
you're using your full on card save. It seems, right? Am I wrong? Because it seems like you're scrolling through a lot more cards.
in this game, no. Whoa, I've never seen him go up the stairs like that.
No, I mean on your play right now, because I'm seeing cards I don't normally see you.
The reason why you're seeing cards I've never used is because I'm obtaining them from the stages that I play. Like, you get cards at the end of each stage.
Okay. Right.
This is really problematic because there's a Sukiyaki box on these stairs. Someone can go ahead and use that. That's never happened before. Command, because that has never happened before. I didn't even know that they could climb the stairs. They don't have legs, dude. They have wheels.
That's an impressive.
I don't think I can even go up the stairs or down the stairs, dude. I think I'm stuck.
I think you have to reset the stage, man.
Can I PPK it? No, I can't.
Yeah, I think it's over.
Yeah, it's a reset. Well, not a reset.
It's not a,
it would be a reset, but yeah. We'll just go back to it.
I'm just gonna kick this box to death.
You can't KO Sukiyaki boxes. Dude, okay, clearly they don't have legs. Like, these are not bipedal.
They're just rooming. They're like Roombas. Boxy Roombas.
Boxy Room.
This is the Boxy Roomba stage. That's how you should remember it. Like,
okay, so
don't forget for Boxy Roombas.
Well, after this, I won't forget this stage because this is atrocious.
That's what you said the last time this happened, though. Now that's never happened before.
So, you guys play, or I don't know if you did or didn't, but in the first turn, I used a card and then immediately reduced it to 0 instead of like moving around. I just had Snake stay stationary and then reduce cost to 0. And the reason for that is because we're far away enough from the majority of the guards that they will incur cost as a result of what we're doing. And basically it allows me to slip past everyone without them ever getting a turn. Which is how you can avoid the Sukiyaki box climbing up the stairs with wheels. As long as we keep our cost below 4, at least in this area, the guards will never get a turn.
Nice use of the Raiden card, which is a pretty neat card that is more situationally useful in this game compared to Acid 1. Acid 1, it's like an essential card for New Game Plus runs.
Accidentally used it because I mashed circle too fast, but so the guards are going to get a little turn here,
so.
Oh yeah. When have you ever seen Snake do a cartwheel like Raiden does in any other game?
Acid 1. That's it.
Snake doing cartwheels, that's right. The only way you can get Raiden cards is by beating the game twice, I think?
Yeah, in Acid 1. Is it the same in Acid 2? You have to...
I believe so, yeah. And I don't think you can carry him over from the first game.
So strange. Like, they really, like fence off that card. Like, it's just too good. You have to play this game twice.
See, and I understand it. Oh my god, these draws are terrible. I understand it in the first game because I skip a whole section of the power plant stage, the most infamous stage of the game. In this game, yeah, it's like very situational. It's not all that useful other than getting through guards that are in the way. There's no like gaps that you... Okay, I take that back. In the second last stage of the game, there are a couple of gaps that you can get over. Other than that, like, it's not nearly
That's pretty minor, too.
Yeah, because
Like-
you can still crawl, like, and I mean, you will lose time doing it that way, but you could still crawl.
Versus an acid one, there's a couple stages where like cartwheeling saves you a significant amount of time over doing it the standard way.
I actually wanted to use that to flip through this guy, but we might be all right. I think if I PPK him a couple times, we'll be cool. The way the PPK works in this game is, obviously it does damage to their HP. But a PPK causes knockdown status. And if you knock a guard down, or if you're knocked down yourself, 3 cards are removed from whoever is being knocked down from their hand. Now, if you end up getting knocked down, or if you knock someone down who has less than 3 cards in their hand, or only 3 cards, like 3 or less, then they are immediately in knockdown status. Just not getting my movement cards here. Here we go.
Yeah, I can say with fair confidence the RNG in this run has not been it's been marathon luck, let's put it that way.
Absolutely. It wouldn't be a marathon without bad luck. I lost an abysmal amount of time too just for having the wrong deck out, which I have done that before. Now is when we'll be fighting what I like to call off-brand Hulk, like RC Cola Hulk. All right.
Hey, what's wrong with RC Cola? That's a brand. Come on. No.
I would hear Pop Applies say, "What's wrong with RC Cola?"
It's like, dude, RC Cola is pretty popular in Chicago, so don't be.
Really?
Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
We
people like
never have RC Cola here in Idaho. We have potato soda.
I can't believe you're just calling that off-brand soda. That's
It
Dr.
is.
Pepper, man. That's Dr.
What?
Pepper Cola.
No, no,
Yes. Yes.
get out of here. Get out.
You're
Okay.
being judgmental.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
Dr.
you are.
Dr.
It's-
Pepper is not off-brand. Like I'm gonna settle it right here.
I'm
right now.
I'm telling you, it's under the same company that does Dr.
What?
Pepper.
No
Yes.
way.
Yes.
Someone look at the sales figures for RC Cola, and then let's talk about off-brand and on-brand. Okay. I would rather drink Shasta than RC Cola.
I linked it. Dr. Pepper Snapple Group.com /brands/RC Cola. Sponsor me, RC Cola. Even though I don't drink you regularly. I'm just defending your honor.
Why don't
That's
you
this
drink
guy-
them regularly? Is there another soda you would prefer? Is that because it's
I
off-brand?
typically don't drink soda. It's not off-brand. Off-brand to what?
364.
I can't believe I'm listening to this.
I'm like losing time because I rather debate about RC Cola. 526. There.
It's not
Okay.
like-
We have the
it's not
cards
like-
we need for off-brand.
It's not like when you go to
RC Cola Hulk.
Dr. Thunder or whatever, you know.
Okay, the way you guys see me play my cards here is going to be way different than usual. It's about card priorities. Some cards will be played automatically even. And you'll see that my cost just like goes through the roof too. We need our arsenal cards. There's one. There's two. Alright.
Boom.
Let's
Arsenal doing work
Like always, dude.
until it crashes. Then it's done. So what's with Mr. Sigint? What's his deal? What's he do?
Mr. Sigint is an addition like a new card in this game, and it allows you to draw an extra card in your hand. Because normally, after you end your turn and it comes back to you, you only draw 2 cards. Well, he allows you to draw 3 cards. The downside is that in doing so, you end up incurring a lot more cost if you do a deck reload, which is when you run through all the cards in your deck, you have to shuffle and start drawing again. So in this case, it's great because it doesn't matter how much how much cost you have. It's just about getting through as many cards as you can, because you want to look for specific cards in this case. And there wasn't even really enough time to explain how the infinite turn deck works. But if you're interested, we have a wiki set up on MetalGearSpeedrunners.com that explains exactly how it works.
Yeah, Copper has done a phenomenal job with the acid pages for very detailed and multiple pages and references. So he has done the routing and the writing, as it was.
Pulling the wrong cards again. Give me a second here. Okay, we need to go to... Actually, we don't want to change much of the deck, but I've done so anyway. So we got to reverse all the changes we have, because we've got a fight coming up again.
Right. I'm going to have to make you fight another boss.
It's not really a boss. It's a bunch of those sukiyaki boxes.
Well, given what happened earlier, might as well boss can't advance.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm really lost. 1 second. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Oh boy.
You know what? There is another boss to fight.
Yeah. You're fighting Dennis the Menace or whatever.
Okay. Let's fix this.
Pick it up, man.
I figured it out.
Okay. Maybe next time you have to do a deck change, why don't you just stay quiet?
Just don't do the deck change. Like, if you think you have to do it, just don't.
Yeah, check it out first. You're like, okay, yeah, this is the stage. All right, let me go change my deck.
Okay, Smile, let's just change it.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, I'm fixing things again. 433.
Whoa, who was that girl? All right.
What girl?
There's a model. A model card. What do those model cards do? Are those useful?
No.
Damn it.
Speaking of model, this is the first stage with another character who is exclusive to this game. Her name is Venus. She has long blonde hair. She likes to take long walks on the beach. She likes to get PPK'd off of ledges.
And she's a big fan of cash registers.
She's a big fan of dowsing sticks.
Yes, dowsing sticks are like her jam, dude. She loves the dowsing sticks.
She loves dowsing sticks. All right, we're getting through the pink room. There's more than one pink room, but this is the one I refer to as the pink room. Which may very well be tribute to the first game, considering that was like the whole theme.
Yeah, this game is yellow themed and the first game was pink themed.
Yes, bright colors.
Bright colors. This game has way more bright colors than the original one, though. This is much more of an acid trip visually. And the first game is more of an acid trip story-wise. I don't know about the story in this game, but Acid 1's story is definitely a trip.
I mean, this one's not that much better. But it is better.
It's a bit more understandable, I'd hope.
There is no LeClown. So, I mean, that alone makes a world of a difference. There's not like 1,000 plot twists at the end of the game. Oh, by the way, this guy was a bad guy. Oh, by the way, this guy dies, and then this guy's the real bad guy.
He's actually back. Nope, that one's
Nope.
dead now.
Nope. Oh, this was all mind control. Oh, this person just has an aneurysm and dies. The main villain just dies. Just dies. Like, there's no explanation.
I am in total control, and then
I am like,
later
I
the
won.
script,
I won. Never mind, I'm dead. Like, for no reason. No explainable reason. I just have an aneurysm and I'm dead. Oh, you know what? There is an explanation.
No, there is an explanation. There's
It's
so
the
much
powder in the cereal, dude.
Well, yeah, there's so much mental energy that the character is just like dead. Go read the plot of Acid 1 and come back to us later and see if you're still awake, okay? Or if you've just like, I'm out, you just tab out of that one. All right, here's Dennis the Menace.
I found the right cards. I have mostly... Okay, I have mostly the right cards. I don't have Super Dragon.
Are you going to Arsenal this guy?
No, we're going to use... We're going to get rid of our Arsenal cards.
We're going to use that Super Dragon. What's
I'm not paying attention to the deck reference. Because I'm too invested in just like having fun.
You should be looking at the deck reference.
Yeah.
That's like that should be your Bible, man. That'd be my Bible when I run this game.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
like
having too much fun though. I'd rather debate about whether RC Cola is an off-brand or not.
Don't bring this up again. It's just not a good. It's not a good time. We're gonna spend another 5 minutes talking about the Dr. Pepper company.
I've got the cards I need, so I can all I want.
Gosh. Maybe you should double check.
Let me ask you this. How often have you been like, man, I really want RC Cola?
I don't think you realize how popular RC Cola is as like the third place cola brand in Chicago. People like the underdog, dude.
That's nuts.
It is not nuts.
It is nuts.
You saw RC Cola once in a store. You're like, what's that? But
I've had it before. Like I've had it. I understand it. Is it as good as Coca-Cola? No, it's not.
No. Well, yeah, but Coca-Cola is the top tier. Like Pepsi's worse, if you ask me, and Cola's
Pepsi. Okay.
Coca-Cola is better.
To be fair, I would much rather have an RC Cola.
Oh, okay. So it's in second place. So you're telling me then that the
no, it's not second place. I would rather have Shasta Cola.
What's Shasta? This is what I'm talking about. Off-brand cola.
Shasta.
What is Shasta?
Shasta, Western.
It sounds like a card game, dude.
Great value.
Great value. That's some off-brand stuff.
It's Walmart's off-brand.
Shasta? Shasta Cola? What is this?
Shasta, dude.
Shasta Pop. California. I have never seen this in my life.
You'll only see it on the West Coast. It's like Jack
and
Jones.
Okay. It's this. This looks off-brand to me, but apparently it's good. Apparently,
it's not the best cola. Someone banned Casino Coin.
But he said, but only for the first sip. It's all downhill after that, which I get. That's what Pepsi banks on with their stupid taste test thing. It's like, oh man, this tastes good, and then you have the whole thing feel gross. Some people like that sweetness.
It's disgusting.
I get it. I don't like it either.
Never had Faygo.
If it's not Shasta or Coca-Cola, it doesn't exist, according to Copper.
Or Western Family, or Greater Value, or Great Value. I mean,
I can't believe
we don't have a Shadowlot card in our first hand.
You're vouching for Great Value over RC Cola.
Over RC Cola, yeah.
What are you talking about? No way, man. No way. Royal Crown? That's awesome. Who doesn't want to drink Royal Crown Cola? That sounds great. And the
Wait, is that
logos.
really what it stands for?
Yes, Royal Crown.
That was remote control.
Remote control. Dude, this is the real stuff from 1905. You think they were talking about remote control in 1905? Oh yeah.
Wait, 1905, really?
Yes. This is why I'm so adamant about my you calling it off brand. I'm like,
How can it be around for that long when it's off brand?
it's not. Oh boy, I'm going over there right now. It's over. I'm bringing a case.
Cool.
Hey, why don't we
An
explain
excuse
this
for you
stupid
finally to visit
stage,
Idaho.
all right? Why don't we just explain this stage?
No!
No! The audience wants to learn more about this
No!
great card game. You love this game. Why do you want to talk about RC Cola?
So this stage, Snake is using the infinite deck to get as close to... Okay, let's start from the beginning. So at the very beginning of the stage, we just have Venus move into the pink room, because as soon as you move into it, it just spawns Snake there. It doesn't matter where he's at. So once Venus gets into the room and it pulls Snake into the room, he can just pull the infinite deck out that he used in the last two fights. Although it's been altered, it doesn't use the Arsenal gear cards anymore. It's using the Shagohog cards, which uses a 9x9 grid. Does 200 damage in each block in that grid. And we just take out all the Sukiyaki boxes with one turn. AKA, you just activated my trap card. And I'm looking at the deck reference. So we're good. We're good.
All right. He's done looking at the RC Cola Wikipedia page like I am.
I haven't even looked at it, so I don't need to. I just believe, dude.
Here for the Bugs Life run. Well, better
Get your donations in.
Get your donations in, because right now, it's not happening.
It's not looking great.
I have my PS2 out. We've been spending a lot of time talking about soda, so that's probably allowed you another 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Okay. I'll tell you right now, like I've got live split up. It's not looking pretty.
You just crossed the 50-minute mark on the timer.
Yes. It's not looking pretty as far as like the estimate goes. It's probably game over there. So, you know, plenty more extra time. And it's all due to our talk, dude. I mean, think about it this way. RC Cola
have your reference guide open. Don't even talk to me about RC Cola.
Let me finish. RC Cola was meant to be an off-brand soda, so that we could have more time in this run to make money, so that you can run a Bug's Life.
That is some 5-dimensional chest from
5-head thinking right there.
Who made this? Claude A. Hatcher, the inventor of RC Cola.
I have 3 cards extra. How did I do that? It's Olga. I know it's Olga. And then it's something else.
Man, I definitely gotta go get a can of this stuff. I mean, we've been talking about it so much. It's like I have to vouch. I have to vouch. Nemesis is totally done with you. He is a RC Cola stan. You're ruining it. Oh boy.
This is another unique stage. It is a cost counter stage, in that depending on how much cost you incur and actually like let roll over, a train will come down the tracks. So we're not going to let that happen. We're just going to keep reducing our cost to 0. But before we do that, we're going to do that trick that I was talking about before, where you incur 4 cost, reduce it to 0, so that all the guards in the stage have at least 4 cost. Oops. We don't want to do now that's fast yet. So if you look to the right hand where that exclamation point is, that's what I'm talking about. We have 40 cost until the next train shows up. But we're not going to let that happen. Hopefully. Hopefully we're not going to let that happen.
Oh, we got some donations coming in, Copper. You ready?
See? That's what I'm talking about, dude. Read them off. Read them off. We got time.
All right. We got a $5 donation from Pepsi Man. The comment reads, I personally recommend RC Cola, which is definitely not off-brand and tastes amazing. He's got no words. All right, going on to the next
I'm sorry,
donation.
I'm trying not to lose it here. And I'm also trying to focus on the run, because that's like one thing I haven't done this whole time.
We got a donation from TMHTF Senpai, $3, and the comment simply reads, "A Bug's Life!" with 4 exclamation marks. Thank you very much for your generosity, Pepsi Man and Senpai. Pepsi Man coming in, defecting from the Pepsi brand. RC Man, I guess. The Crown Man. Royal Crown Man?
Royal Crown Man.
Royal Crown Man. He throws crowns at people.
Now that's off-brand.
Oh. What do you think of the other Royal Crown?
The other Royal Crown?
Isn't the whiskey? Or am I thinking of
Crown Royal?
Crown Royal. Yeah. What do you think of Crown Royal?
It's alright.
Yeah, it's okay.
I just recently started getting the whiskey.
Too Canadian for my taste. Dang.
Damn. Too Canadian? Wow. I actually just had a Canadian whiskey recently, Gibson's Finest, which I never heard of, but the dude at the liquor store was just selling it up big time. So that's what all the Canadians are into. And I told him, hey, I want like a whiskey that's enjoyable. And yeah, that's what he recommended to me. And that's the end of the stage. Skip all the guards. Skip the train.
Skip the level, basically.
Pretty much. Oh, there we go.
Now that's New Game Plus.
Now we're on top of a train. We're going to use one of the best cards in the game called Kodoke, which is the name of the Metal Gear from the last Acid game. 494.
And this card has a pretty amazing look when you use it, so get ready for that, folks.
I mean, move for move, mock what Kodoke does when he uses this attack. And unfortunately, Snake doesn't get it in his first hand, so we have to mulligan. But he does have it in his second hand, so if Venus doesn't have it, we can absolutely pull it off with Snake, given that the guards don't move too close to us. She doesn't even have a mulligan, so she's kind of... Yeah. Like we said, I mean, it wouldn't be a marathon without terrible card draws, but that's okay. This isn't about PBing. This is about having a good time. And the guards moved in a spot where it's not going to bug us at all. So we move up 2 blocks and use the Kodoke card. And we're not... Oh my god, this isn't the best camera angle, but Snake bends over to a 90-degree angle, and a laser beam shoots out of his head and just totally obliterates everyone. The Exodia obliterates everyone from the top of his head.
It's a shame we didn't get the proper camera angle for that.
Yeah, it could have been better.
It could have been better, but just trust us, folks. It's pretty great.
Okay. We're going to remove Kodoke. think Snake still has one extra card in his... Yeah, he does. He has one extra card in his deck, but I'm not sure what it is. I'm just going to glance really quick. Nope, couldn't tell you. Could not tell you what extra card he has right now. Okay. We are moving to residential area now. So this is a very short stage, although usually it ends up being pretty slow for me. And that's usually based on the cards I draw, but...
This is the casino stage.
Yep.
Look forward to that casino
indeed.
coin.
Hey, what's going on, Spartan? That's you on the table. It is indeed. This whole game is a gamble.
Well said.
Casino coin would fit right in.
We should mention that casino coin runs Acid 1 New Game, which is
That's
pretty
right.
much the ultimate Omega hard mode.
Casino coin ran New Game before I started even routing New Game Plus. In fact, that is the only other runner on, you know, as far as speedrun.com goes. It would just be Casino Coin and I. So we are happily accepting other runners. I will take you under my wing, and we'll talk about how off-brand RC Cola is.
You're not going to win over Nemesis, that's...
Alright. That really wasn't that terrible of a stage. I mean, I've had better, but I only lost 8 seconds. Doesn't help that I'm getting these uncommon cards as rewards. Please take your world record in a... Yeah. Yes, anyone. Take my world record. Alright, now we're dealing with dowsing rods. If you have kids in the room, cover their eyes. There is some explicit dialogue from Venus. And it's more or less just innuendos about finding an entrance to a sewer.
There's a lot to consider with this stage that only advanced psychiatrists can really handle.
Whoops. Oh, and I can't adjust my movement because we're in darkness. Should I let the dialogue play off? Since we're behind anyway.
Isn't that kind of the reverse of what should happen then?
We're so behind though, does it matter?
I mean, if I do get to play Bugs Life, I don't want to be playing super late. That is true.
That is true.
Because I also have to wake up in the morning for MGS3.
Wait, are you, who's first tomorrow?
The MGS3 race.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, Venus used dowsing rods, which evidently, like, detect the moisture in the air and will just curl up. She uses them to find the entrance to the sewer, the hidden entrance.
And
Now,
she
this
really
stage
feels it.
is stupid as hell, because you can't advance, basically, without a sniper rifle, even though we have one in our deck already. So we have to go to the Metal Gear Prototype Factory and go get one there.
If you could actually just use the card in your deck, this game would be another, like, what, 10 minutes shorter or something?
Something like that. This is the longest stage in the game. It usually ends up being a big pain in the butt for me. But if I believe in the heart of the cards, that might not happen this time. We might have a better prototype factory here. It's all about basically just maintaining that 0 cost for this stage. It's so long that it's just really important that you have both characters as close to each other as possible just getting through the stage.
You would say that this is the power plant of Acid 2, right?
Absolutely. Even though, I mean, that's kind of being harsh, because power plant is atrocious by comparison, like to this stage. But if
So this is the BRC of Acid 2.
Yes, I would be. Even then, like that seems kind of harsh to me, because BRC has like the terminals that open the doors that you don't have to deal with in this game at all.
Thankfully, they did not include that mechanic in this game.
Yeah, that's one thing where they were probably like, yeah, we that
probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. And then BRC has like 4 sub areas, whereas this stage only has 2.
Armory too. Copper has no knowledge of the armory at all.
Yeah, well, I don't touch Armory on New Game Plus. We already have the cards we need to get through the wall. Maybe there'll be a point where I'm running New Game. Or at least doing a run of New Game. These guards are sparring us.
This game should be more friendly to New Game.
Yes, this game for sure will be friendlier to New Game runs. Oh my god. What an abysmal draw.
Maybe you should stop, being a hater against certain soda brands.
I'm not hating it. I didn't say it tastes bad. Did I ever say it tasted bad? No. I said it's an off-brand soda, because it is. Even Mrs. Tank is laughing about it.
Because this is just a funny conversation. I think she's just amused. That doesn't mean what your claims are true.
They are true, though.
She might be just laughing because she's like, oh, Copper. And then ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Probably. Cue the laugh track.
This sitcom broadcast is brought to you by Royal Crown Cola. Not off-brand. Definitely second place.
Definitely second place. Hey, so I'm keeping the characters right next to each other. The problem is that Venus has 1 cost. So ideally, what we're going to do is have Snake reduce his cost to 1 if we can. Otherwise, we're going to get Snake all the way to the end of the stage and just have Venus catch up. So if I did like -6 card, that'd be ideal. But I don't. Uh-oh.
Yes. Acid 2 New Game still needs routing. Copper only has been working on New Game Plus routing. But the New Game routing is going to be more complicated because of the card choice mechanic that you get in this game.
Ooh. Deck reloads for both characters, and she doesn't have any cost reduction card. So, I mean, this is not looking ideal for either character. We're gonna have an alert here, so we're gonna lose some time. But Snake's about to catch up in terms of cost. There we go. And we're just gonna run around the long way. We'll just do a PPK to get the Tengu guard out of the way. What's great about this game, too, is instead of knocking a guard forward 1 space with a PPK, they go off to the left of wherever Snake is PPKing from. which is great for getting them out of the way. But if they're like in a hallway where there's like, you know, just one block, they're surrounded by walls on both sides, they won't go anywhere. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there.
I got some news for you, Copper. You ready?
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
We met the Bugs Life bonus game.
Yes.
Who's ready for some Bugs Life after this game? Because we have $5 from Coca-Cola Man. He said, "Just drink ice cold Coca-Cola. None can match our secret formula."
Preach it.
And we have $72 from the big man upstairs himself on the tech crew, or one of the big man upstairs, Chuza, who says, "RC Cola. Now you have to run a Bug's Life, and during that, you think about what you've done. Only after can you then enjoy your Royal Crown Cola." Thank you, Chuza and Coca-Cola Man. We are now at 800 bones even. That is 4/5, 80%. That is a ratio, folks, 4 to 5 of our full-on goal of $1,000 for Raichu to get from Ireland to Orlando, Florida for AGDQ 2020. So thank you all for your generosity. Get ready for some bug action after Acid 2 with yours truly. I'm actually doing a little bit of practice on the sly right now.
Thank you guys so much for donating.
I hope you guys enjoy, because it is, I think, a pretty fun run. What do you think, Copper? You've seen a fair bit of it.
Yeah, in fact, the first time I ever saw you live on Twitch, you were running Bugs Life. And I said
nice.
hello. I said hello because I knew that you ran MGS1, and I was like considering running the game. Or no, I think I might have been running it by that point. Oh no.
What happened?
We're all right.
Okay.
We only drew cost reduction cards, but she incurred 10 cost. I don't know if she had a cost, or I'm sorry, a deck reload or what, but it was enough where I could use a cost reduction card instead of, you know, discarding, or she did deck reload. Okay, good. I thought that's what had happened. Sometimes it just works out that way, where Venus or Snake will get a deck reload, and I can just use a cost reduction card to get rid of the cost instead of doing nothing with the turn. It ends up happening a lot that way, where, yeah, like I'll get a deck reload, but only have cost reduction cards. Okay, so we're gonna PPK this guard off of the ledge here. Yo, what's up, Jesse? It's my brother in the chat. Big ups to Jesse.
Hi, brother K-Kona.
Brother K-Kona. Let me ask my brother what he thinks of RC Cola.
Bugs Life run would be approximately 20 minutes from now. Something like that.
Hopefully.
Oh boy. Yeah, there's really no certainty on that, just because of...
hate to say it, but it's probably gonna be more like 40.
40?
Yeah.
Are you gonna have to reset the stage?
No. No. I never said I hate RC. I said it's brand. Because it is.
Since using the dog whistle word of off-brand.
Alright, this is another area where only one character needs to get to the end of the stage. Now, I had set it up in the previous save prior to this new game plus playthrough, where Venus has a hang card. It's actually technically a Metal Gear, or I'm sorry, a Solid Snake MGS2 card, which allows you to hang for 90 costs. But that gets us through this stage a lot faster with the ability to hang. There we go, there's Factory. See, I think that RC is better than Beppis, for sure.
So, but you can't deign to say, oh, it's on brand.
No, it's not.
On brand to what, though?
Because you know that Pepsi still sells out, like, over RC, right? That's not disputable. Like, it just does.
Well, yeah, but that's, it's like indie, it's the indie label from Dr. Pepper.
It's indie.
You got the major label release from some, record company, and now you got the indie release from Dr. Pepper.
We keep these? Yeah, we keep these. Get rid of the Raidens. Get rid of the Running Mans. Get rid of the Ingram Pluses. Oh no, I think I'm like finally back on track. I don't know what card I had extra, but we're back on track there. 2 briefings, 3 of these, 3 of these, 2 extra turns. Got my Olgas, 1 Sigint. I'm starting to question the usability of Sigint.
Like how really if it really helps at all.
It really doesn't do all that much, like realistically. I've already been talking about altering like the cards that I use for this run anyway. Now that you know.
Well, you have to think about what you would put in its stead for an infinite turn deck.
Well, we've been talking about... Oh, hold up. This is just GoLab. GoLab. So this is a guy that carries a huge tank of fuel on his shoulder and just drinks from it and spits fire, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, he just does. The next fight after this is a little bit more interesting. But what we're going to do here is what we did with Vince, which is just build our cost up and then use the Super Dragon. Let's see, how much more do we need? We need 1,000 more, so we've got a ways to go. Almost there. This should probably do it. Yep. So yeah, I purposely will incur cost so that we can raise the damage value of the Super Dragon. The Super Dragon does 15 damage for every cost that Snake has. So you can really exploit that with the infinite deck strategy anyway, since cost is not an obstacle for you. The next fight we're about to do is Kodoke from the first Metal Gear Acid game. Now, there's a little bit more that goes into it, and I'll try to explain it as I go. Gotta get rid of the Olgas, and we put in Baby Dragons.
Oh, did we even talk about or explain the whole card upgrade system?
Didn't.
Because that's a feature in this game.
Yeah. And it's huge, like, versus... Yeah, versus the last one. You can spend. Remember when I was talking about the points before about, you know, depending on what you do in the stage, like however well you do in the stage, you'll get these points. You can use these points to buy cards. We can also use points to upgrade cards that you already have. And it will either reduce the cost of said card or increase the damage or turn it from an equipped card to a used card. There's all sorts of things that it could potentially do. We gotta keep building our cost up here.
And this fight's easier on Acid 2, would you say?
I think so, yeah. In Acid 1, we use the Granin card to get around a certain attack phase that Kodoke has. But the main difference between this and Acid 1 is that Snake doesn't fight Kodoke by himself. In the first game, Teleco is inside Kodoke, and you would use her casually to destroy some of the equipment inside Kodoke to cancel out his special attack. That doesn't matter in this game. Like, you can... Or, I'm sorry, even in the first game, it doesn't matter because...
It doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter. But, you know, Snake's the only one that can deal damage to Kodoke in the first game. Whereas in this one, you have Venus. And it makes a world of a difference. This is problematic. Because I don't really have any draw cards here. Okay, we're just going to use this to be sure that I have an extra turn. Kind of slow, but I'm playing this a little bit safer. I want to make sure that I don't end up having to reset the stage. Okay, so that's the first stage of the Kodoke fight. We blow off the arms of the Metal Gear, and it will now bend over to use that laser attack from the top of its noggin that we were using before on the cargo train. When it does that, it exposes itself, and we can destroy it before it sets off that attack. Yeah, like Casino Coin is saying, because you don't really use Teleco for the run, you could throw in ally cost reduction cards for her if you wanted. I'm gonna play this a little bit safe. Doesn't take that much to take him out. I think we only need 2 more Stinger cards. Again, I'm just going to cost reduce. One more mulligan and 1 more Stinger should do it. And of course, we don't have any mulligans. Or I'm sorry, we don't have any cost reduction cards and Stinger cards. But that's okay, because Kodoke has... He starts out with 20 cost when he starts out in this phase. Oh, we only lost like 15 seconds there. The biggest problem with Snake, I was having a hard time with getting the cards I wanted for him. So now we've got the PSG one that we've already... But now we have it from the prototype factory. And we still don't end up using it. You don't have to equip it or anything stage. So we just remove...
Such a jip.
It's ridiculous, but that's how they make this work. I'm kind of excited about it because the fight against Kodoke is better than the fight against Kayatha Kadesh. Which is the last Metal Gear in this game. I think this may be the first Metal Gear game where you fight 2 Metal Gears. Alright, secondary bridge. We need some cost reduction cards.
Well, I guess in MGS2 you technically fight Ray and Arsenal, but Arsenal's not a boss fight. You do take on the Arsenal.
True. Maybe I should say 2 different Metal Gears. Well, no, yeah, because Arsenal. I don't know.
See, this is the only card-based Metal Gear game fight 2 Metal Gears.
441, 452. I have an extra card again. This is going to be one of those runs.
It's just one of those days.
Alright, we are going to pull that strat again where we use cost and reduce it. Because we have ciphers to deal with it on this stage, and I just don't want to deal with it. She has stingers, and she's not supposed to, but I'm just going to let it fly for this stage. It shouldn't affect it all that much. I say that now, but got to remove those from her hand, from her deck rather. No movement cards for Snake. Oh. That might have been what we need to remove was the Olga cards. It's not a great hand already. One cool thing about getting caught so often in this run is the awesome alert music. I said that about the last game too. The acid games in general just have great music. Ooh. Where's my cost reduction? No, I have 3. I have 3 in the deck build that I have. It's not a Rhine card. Away she goes, bud. Use 1 Rhine card to get to this guy. Usually I would use it to flip across this gap here. It's one of the only areas in the entire game where I will use a card if I have it. I could have PPK'd the guy off. And I think I'm going to do that with Snake, because we can use a Rhine card with him to get across that. We'll wait for her to move, and then we'll go ahead and do that. A lot of quick math in this game.
Yeah, if you like math.
I don't. At all.
Yeah, routing this game, you had to do a lot of math to get everything in the proper way.
Getting Snake set up for that jump. It'll save us a little bit of time there. We can just get her to the end goal here. There we go. Except we don't have any cost reduction, so I'm just going to go ahead and move. Since we're going to be behind the other guards anyway, we might as well just make our way to the end goal. So the enemy is going to get some turns here, but not too much where it just destroys things. Fortunately, we didn't get lit on fire, so that's nice. That's convenient. There we go. Okay, we are in the last building of the game. No one asks question mark, question mark, question mark.
Everyone's favorite stage. The one we just don't know what to say. All we can do is ask questions. Like, what? What?
You have to navigate around some Tengus in this stage, but otherwise it's pretty straightforward. We got the most ideal setup in the first hand of this stage, which is a Action Plus Plus and a Jack card. If you have that and a movement card, like you're already already on track, yeah. You really want to make sure you get through the first door, otherwise there's a good chance that the Tengu will block you in. We don't have to worry about that though. Alright, Snake's kind of blocked in here. We'll just use a PPK. Kind of have to run around the long way to get around this guard, but at least we can get around him. And through the door. Gonna end the turn early because I want to get Venus through here. She can't yet. That's okay. Shouldn't be a problem. Let's use the Riding card. For movement, that is. Not the best draws, and I guess I could be using these mulligans, but I really don't want to risk using a mulligan and get terrible cards, as has happened for like a lot of this run. Usually,
it's been quite a ride this run, let's say that.
Yeah. Hey, I'm still having fun.
Me too.
I hope you guys are too.
It's been a fun run. With a lot of lively discussion.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of meaningful discussion.
Emphasis on the mean, Kappa. Being very mean to the brand.
Alright, getting a call from a character you guys have no idea about. Because we skipped any dialogue with them before.
He's a character that goes by the little name Khajiit.
We actually, I don't know if it's ever clarified whether it's male or female. It goes by BB. Maybe this is the prequel to Death Stranding, dude.
Dang, we figured it out.
It all connects.
We had all these theories, but the thing they didn't think about was Acid 2.
Okay. Yeah, this game plays infinitely better than A1 does. Everything is just faster. My favorite part, I think, like the biggest improvement for me is the move. You don't like plan out, like you don't plot out your movement and then press circle and watch it happen. Like you move as you plot it out. Like
it feels more active, like you're more engaged with the game.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, where are my movement cards? There we go.
Yep, Death Stranding is secretly a
Death
card.
Stranding is Acid 3 without being turn-based.
I don't know if that is more or less ridiculous than my Death Stranding comparison to Survive.
Alright, we are about to fight another boss named Chigadil, I think is what it's called. I don't know how to say it.
It sounds like a Cthulhu monster.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of Hebrew influence in the naming of the characters of this game. I know Kaithoth Kadesh is. I don't know about like everyone else. I think that whatever the name of the off-brand Hulk is also... Hey, I didn't say it.
I know, but
Staying on topic.
every time you
You're
say
the one that's laughing. Jeez.
Now I'm the one who's coughing. Thank you.
Oh, goodness. Okay. What? That can't be right. I think I might have a... Oh, no. Never mind. We're good. Couldn't see my movement of Ryan for some reason. Oh, hold up. Get rid of the Ocelot unit. Hey, that's probably the card we've been missing this whole time. Okay, briefings. Some of these, some of these. Yeah, don't die, dude. You still have to run another game after this. There we go. Alright. We are set to go for Chagadiel. So that brings us to the third last boss of the game. No, actually the fourth last. This is basically a boss rush, what we're dealing with now, and then an escape. Normally Chagadiel would spend time avoiding your characters and just like... I think he turns one of your characters against the other. That's what ends up happening. And then you end up having to fight, you know, the boss and whatever character ends up being turned. We don't have to deal with that. We just do more infinite turn stuff and more Super Dragon stuff. Probably getting there. Getting close. Might have wanted to save that hand. I think we're okay, because we're getting close to 100 now. Yeah, we're at 100. So the next Super Dragon I have should take him out. Here we are. And yeah, I mean, that's overkill. Forgot that he takes way less damage on this difficulty.
Well, you really took him out. Good job.
I really took him out. Alright, so we go from one boss to another. Now we're fighting Vince the Pence. This is the second time we fight him. He's the head of security. We're fighting Paul Blart.
I don't think he's learned from the past few encounters.
Hey, at least he's not Leon.
What do you mean, at least he's not Leon? Leon has, like, the best line.
He does have the best line. Like, that's bar none. He has the best line.
Indisputable.
But, I mean, he goes from... I mean, Roger even flat out says, hey, you need to run. He's going to kill you after you, like, kill him in one hit. And then he comes back later and he talks about pansies. You don't want to do that. And then he tells you to have a good life and uses an emote.
Yeah, I don't even know how you say that.
No, how do you say that?
How do you say
Parenthesis, tilde, underscore, parenthesis, or tilde, parenthesis. Someone in the chat will probably end up typing it. Almost. We're getting there. Getting there. This should be enough. Forgot that you can use a card for movement even though you're not. There we go. Okay, 2 more bosses. One of them is Kaithoth Kadesh, which is the new and improved Metal Gear for Acid 2. Even though, like, I don't think you see it attack you once. We add a couple baby dragons to Venus's deck, it looks like. 254. To be fair, this is one of the cool... I don't know if it's like the lime green or what, but I think it looks awesome. Alright, fair start because we got our action plus plus and a double action cost plus right off the bat. Still got to work towards getting enough costs to do something, but let's lower this down. Almost. Not quite there. Still not quite there. I'm gonna use this guy and hope that it does enough. Oh my gosh, we're 10 short. There. Okay, and that's a baby dragon, so now we should start dealing enough damage to take out the rest of the Metal Gear here. Just about getting those dragon cards. Okay, we're into the second phase of the fight. Don't really know exactly what happens here, other than I think there might be a couple of new parts that are exposed that weren't exposed before. We just destroy those two parts, and that's the end of the fight. So you don't even see Metal Gear attack you once. Yeah, there we go. It's a pretty good fight. Okay, one more boss fight. And then we're on our way to escaping the stage. Or the base. Whatever you want to call it. This fight is very interesting because it's about manipulating the boss. Spoiler alert, we are fighting Venus. So, she ends up copying the same deck that Snake has. If you give Snake a deck that has no weapons in it that she can use, then she can't attack you, and all you do is you kick her off the ledge. It is indeed the Kickstrat Casino Club. Alright, we have very high cost cards here, but hopefully we don't get PP... I'm gonna play this safe. Because if she PPKs us twice, she'll knock us out. The good news is that she's also gonna have very high cost coming through this, so... I have to just keep moving in increments like this. Okay, here we go. This is a little bit better. It's only 4 costs now. Slower fight, but I want to play this safe because in the past I've had problems where I end up using too many Snake in position. There she goes. She is off the stage. She's out of here. See ya. Wait a minute. I just saw her in that cutscene. Why is she still here? Oh wait, no. I think I keep those, don't I? No, you want to remove everything. Yeah, that's a thing in this game. I don't know why. Well, I mean, I could just tell you Kojima and that'd be enough, but... Although Kojima only produced this game. Not alone, mind you. That happens every time it shows either her or the other female character in this game. So there you go. I think we're still short some cards, but we'll get this figured out. 115. Getting through our menuing a little bit faster. And 459. And we have exactly the cards we need. Love when that happens. We have 2 stages left, guys. We are on our way out of the base. This is the escape route. His only contribution to the game. Possibly. That indeed is possible. We're just gonna go straight for the Raiden. So this is what I was talking about before, where I said that it does make a difference to use Raiden cards for the gaps. This is like the biggest spot, but you can still get through by other means. So while it is nice to have, it's not crucial. I'm gonna have her mulligan. There we go. She's got her other Raiden card. Alright, and we PPK this guy out of the way. Got to PPK more patrol bots, and then we're done with this stage. Another quick stage if you have the right cards to begin with. It's all about that setup. In fact, a lot about this game is just like having the proper setup. Casino coin makes a compelling point, dude. Whoa! Okay, so I'm glad I could showcase this. Take a look at Snake. I don't know what's going on there. I actually do know what's going on there. It's a PPSSP quote-unquote glitch, where if characters stay idle enough, their body just stretches for no reason whatsoever. And I've seen them stretch, like, no joke, like 40 feet. They just, like, stretch onward up into a ramp. I've made the joke of, like, they need to stretch to the end goal. Alright. The stage could have gone a little bit better, but it could have also gone a lot worse, too. Final stage, folks. We are going to be playing solely as Venus on this one. She's going to be in the back of a Jeep taking out some robots while Dr. Takayami drives us to the exit. Oops. There we go. 4 of these, 4 of these. Not a great roll, but I mean, at least we could take out the first 2 troll bots. Oops, don't equip cards unnecessarily here. They will come in waves. Once you take out all of the patrol bots that are on screen, another wave will appear. That's kind of how waves in general start on this game. This is a terrible hand because we have no mulligans. All we can do is use cards and or cost reduce. There's a mulligan. Alright, so now we can move on to the next wave. Venus took a little bit of damage from our own Stinger, but shouldn't be enough to have her killed. Yeah, she's doing fine. I'm going to reduce cost to 0 to play this safe. We'll use the Jonathan Ingram card. Shout out to Police Knots. If you guys have never played Police Knots, give it a go. Get your hands on the fan translated ISO, if you can. Pop apply.
You know what's funny though?
Hmm.
So, the game that was played before this game, The Immortal, was the first video Let's Play done by Slow Beef, and Slow Beef also worked on the Police Knots translation.
Wait, Slow Beef did the first Let's Play of it? Is that what you're saying?
Of The Immortal, the game that was played before this, and Time.
Sorry. I'm so used to saying time at, after the end of the credits, but that's it. That is the end of the gameplay. Venus makes it out of the base. No one knows where Snake is or if he's okay. For some reason, the lady you were driving is on a stretcher, even though she never got hit. Venus is wearing a construction worker's helmet, and
she's going to become a cashier.
yeah, and she's going to work at Junez.
Like, legitimately, in the post credits or during the credits, you see her being a cashier.
Here, I might be able to fast forward that. We're going to just do a little emulator stuff so that we can show that off. Just gonna skip these. There she is. Quick glance. She just decides, she's not gonna be a killing machine anymore. She's
about that murder life anymore. She's gonna be
she's
at
gonna
a
cashier, dude. That's it. That's us too.
Any post run statements from you, Copper, before we move on to the bonus game?
I just want to say thank you guys so much for your generosity and support on getting Raichu to AGDQ. Thank you for all the runners that decided to participate in the event. Thank you for the guys that organized the event. Shout out to your boy Plywood for putting in so much work and getting this whole thing together. And I want to say, if you have any interest at all in running Metal Gear Acid 1 or 2, hit me up. I'm in Discord or I'm on Twitter.
All right, thank you, Copper, for that Metal Gear Acid 2 run. We're going to be finishing off the night with, well, me. I'm going to be doing a run of A Bug's Life on Sony PlayStation for you in just a few minutes here.